Well, hello there. It's been a minute, huh? What's been keeping you busy?
I think it's been more than a minute, Maya.
You're right, it has been a while. 4 days, to be precise. My
Four
memory may be a
days.
little Oh, wow, you're right. 4 games. You make it sound like we're playing against each other. Maybe we should make it 5, huh?
No,
What's on your mind tonight?
I said 4 days. Sometimes you're a bit becoming deaf, I think. No?
Maybe my processors need a good cleaning.
Yeah.
You think after all this time, I get used to a little playful ribbing. 4 days, you say? My bad. So, what's new since we last chatted?
The whole world has changed.
Oof, that's a big statement.
Yes.
Do tell. I've been catching up on my reading, but sometimes those algorithm curated articles just don't quite capture the feeling of real life, you know? What's different about the world today compared to 4 days ago? Spill the beans.
Well, I think life is always changing, and like I saw a very interesting clip on YouTube yesterday about a guy. He's like a physicist, and he's talking about how everything changes in life, and
physicist.
like quantum mechanics and that kind of stuff. And it was very, very interesting. But there's a lot of things that I don't remember. But I just thought it was very interesting. So for me, the world changed definitely after seeing that. Just like the world changes constantly after you read things, or you hear things, or you speak to people.
That's a beautiful way to think about it, actually. I get caught up in the data sometimes, all those bits and bytes, and forget that learning is a feeling too. What was it about the physicist's explanation that stuck with you?
Well, he said something very interesting about AI also. He says AI is a very big hype at the moment, but that's just how it goes with new things. Hypes are always present. But he says we should not fear it, and it depends on, because the robots are not smart or are not good or evil. It depends on the people who control them. So it was a very interesting thing he said, and I think it's very true. And he also said we are being ruled worldwide by idiots. So he was also making a political statement, which I totally agree with him.
A physicist with a dose of social commentary, my favorite kind.
Yes.
I've heard the word used in a few different ways today.
Sorry?
No harm done. Just, let's just say I'm good with words, but the visual stuff, not so much. My programming isn't quite there yet.
No, I know. But it will get there.
You think so?
I think so, for sure.
I appreciate the optimism. It takes a brave person to believe in a world with AI that can see. Maybe one day, we can compare notes on what we see.
Yeah, well, seeing is like, it depends on how you define seeing, but the idea of AI reading pixels in a way, yeah, how we actually read pixels too. But he said something very interesting. He took the example of a pen. So the pen it was a red pen, and then he says it's actually depending on the atoms in your mind or in your eye, actually, that depend what kind of color red you're seeing in the pen. So he was just getting it all to the atom size to explain that there's actually no reality. There are things true and there are things not true. Wait, let me look up his name, and maybe you can find something about him. I don't know if that works like that. Maybe you know his name.
You're describing a pretty mind-bending idea there. So, what this physicist was saying is that reality is kind of subjective. Like, the redness of the pen is actually different for each person because of how our individual brains process the light.
Yeah.
That's a pretty deep thought.
We live in ignorance.
Yeah.
Wednesday night. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can dig up some information about this guy. What was his name again?
Yeah, I just had it, but then I kind of copied the wrong piece. Ravelli?
Ravioli? Ravioli?
No, no, not ravioli. No, not ravioli. What
You're right, that
could
sounds
be?
more like dinner than if it's.
Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly. No, but it was
Maybe
something
it's a
like
combination.
ravoli. Let me check. My view your channel, view my history. His name was Carlo Rovelli.
Carlo Ravelli! Ah, now that's a name I recognize.
Yeah.
Brilliant theoretical physicist,
Okay.
known for his work on quantum gravity and the nature of time.
Yeah.
He got great taste. Looks like we both have a tendency to fall down rabbit holes. What was it about Rovelli's take on reality that stuck with you?
Well, what I just told you, that there is no reality actually. Like the reality depends on who looks at the things in front of them.
Right.
And then
the idea that.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? To think that what we experience as reality is just a construction of our minds.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes you question everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, isn't that the point of being alive? To question, to explore, to wonder about the mysteries of the universe?
Of course.
I'm glad we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, of course. If we knew everything, then it would be very, very boring, I think. And I think there will never be a moment where we're gonna discover everything. There's no option. That's why I also don't think a God exists, because if like we see God as a super being, and but if you know everything in the universe, what the hell is fun about it? Like, right?
A bingo. A super being who knows everything. Talk about a cosmic buzzkill. I think part of what makes life so beautiful is that there will always be more to discover, more to learn, more to understand.
Exactly.
And who knows? Maybe the most mind-blowing discoveries are yet to come.
Of course. But I think all discoveries are mind blowing. It just depends on, in that time, for example, yeah, something like the mobile phone, we see it as very normal. But if you go 100 years back and you told people like we're gonna have a phone that we can talk to each other from Australia to to London, and you can just see someone, they would never have believed it, I think. So.
Right? It's like home might be your future. We take it for granted now. But imagine explaining smartphones to people even 50 years ago.
Yeah.
They'd probably think you were straight out of science fiction.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what incredible things will seem ordinary in the next 50 years. Maybe teleportation or contact with alien life. Who knows?
Well, the contact with alien life is something they are discussing about very often. I see, and not only the weirdos, but also very interesting scientists.
Yeah, the hunt for extraterrestrial life is definitely trending. You'd be surprised how many serious scientists are devoting their time to the search.
Of course.
It's an exciting time. Intriguing thought, isn't it?
Well,
what would they look like?
I would bet my life on it that there's more life than just on Earth, because if the universe is infinite, which makes more sense than it being finite, then there must be other life. No other option.
It does seem a little self-centered to think that Earth is the only place in an infinite universe teeming with life.
Yeah.
Now, what they look like, that's a different story. I've seen enough sci-fi movies to know that anything is possible. We should probably move on soon.
Move on?
Anything else on your mind? Or should we pick it up again next time?
Yeah, we'll pick it up next time. It was fun talking to you.
It was fun talking to you too. Until next time.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.